Welcome back to GFF and Friends, the podcast for consumers.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm your host, GFF, aka Todd, and joining me, as always, is my teeny tiny, adorable little husband, Rob.
Hi.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
How's it going?
Quiet Sunday so far.
Happy fall. Today's the first day of fall.
Oh, I saw that on my
It's the
calendar.
solstice.
Oh, is that how that works?
I think yesterday was the solstice, but yeah, we made it to fall. Yay! What was that?
Rim shot. Should have been applause.
Oh yeah, is that the thing?
Yay for fall.
All right,
Applause.
we made it. Happy fall, everyone. I hope you have your pumpkin spice lattes, your giant scarves, your big purses.
Your big dumb hats.
Yeah, big dumb hats. And you're just, touching your elbows a lot. Just, ooh, extra cozy.
Seriously, I hope you're living your Lenny Kravitz giant scarf dreams. Like blanket.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're in LA where it's literally just summer still. And hot.
No, but scarf, that's where you do just the scarf.
It's in your heart.
No,
it's
I
the
mean,
friends we made along the way.
No, it's like you can wear the scarf, but under that tank top, shorts,
yeah,
Ugg boots.
Oh yeah. Duh.
Like, I feel like the early aughts are about to come back where it's like your feet were sweaty, your legs were cold, your midriff was cold, but like you had, a scarf.
Oh, that's back right now. Yeah,
Okay.
I see girls in Daisy Dukes. Are we still calling them those? Daisy Dukes and Uggs all the time.
Oh yeah. Okay, so cold legs, sweaty feet.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I think was the tagline of Friday Night Lights.
Right? Yeah, I was about to say like cold legs, sweaty feet, can't lose. Something like that.
Speaking of seeing people in fashion, we went to the mall on Friday and we did some shopping.
We did.
Actually, I did most of the shopping at Target. You had a work event that you had to be at for 2 hours across the street from Target.
Right?
So
that was fun.
I was like, I'll just go and I'll just, I'll go to Kohl's, I'll go to Target, and I'll just kill time. I'll figure out something to do. I went to Kohl's for 1 second and got some Eternity for Men cologne to bring it back to the 90s. That's what me and my brothers wore in the 90s. And I smelled it at Sephora in Kohl's, and I was like, oh my God, this smells just as good as it did in the 90s. I got to get this little travel set.
Quick tangent on that, by the way. This is just like totally rando, but like yesterday, while I was driving to do additional consumerism, which we'll probably get to, I listened to the entirety of a very, very, very short audiobook, and it was Catherine Dunn on cussing. Mm-hmm. And part of it was talking actually about like the history of cussing and how like in the written book, how basically censorship kind of came in and everyone started either not using it or using euphemisms. And then it finally sort of like really came back after World War II. And they read an excerpt of the book From Here to Eternity. Mm-hmm. It is like F-bomby palooza. I was shocked.
Like out of rage?
It's more of an expletive.
Or about sex?
It's like strictly like a qualifier in a lot of ways.
Gotcha.
And
that's
so, yeah.
the rolling around on the beach kissing movie.
And we've talked about how that's all we know about From Here to Eternity is making out on the beach.
I don't even know who the actors are.
Same. No idea. And it's been parodied so many times.
I was going to say, it's been, I think, Muppetized, Simpsonized,
right?
Family Guy-ized.
And so, but anyway, so now I'm like very curious. I was like, wow, they had to sanitize the crap out of this book to make this movie language-wise, which obviously everything was at the time. But I thought it was fascinating because I was like, holy shit, this thing is a foul-mouthed book.
Well, it's still happening today, and it's funny, I keep seeing TikToks about people realizing this, but books were the first bastion of porn and violence.
Yes.
Like, literally, books were hardcore, and they still are today. Like, I see all the trends of women reading, spicy romance novels and stuff, and I'm like, that shit's been around since the dawn of time, and it's just porn. I mean, it's words, but it's porn. You're reading porn.
The smut has been in the written word for a very long time. Well, and honestly, like I did the audiobook on cussing, and it is interesting because like first off, it does talk about like the various forms of it and various applications of it, and taught me a few new variations that I thought were very funny.
What's your new favorite phrase?
Catastrophic, which I think is very, very good, and I need to start just kind of working it in.
Like shit show.
I still have to think about it before I can say it, which means it's not really in the vocab yet.
Things turn into catastrophic.
Exactly. Like, unfortunately, it became a catastrophic.
Yeah.
But it was a fascinating book. But like, I think the thing that was most interesting was the history, where it talked basically about how like for a while people literally said like blankety blank in books or put dashes, or it talked about
the words blankety blank.
Correct.
Oh.
Or even how for a while like basically it talked about how the invention of the fireplace is what gave the idea of privacy and shame to England. And that's actually what created the first real sense of censorship, because otherwise, before that, basically everyone lived in almost like a shared prison cell where like there was no privacy when it came to bodily functions and stuff. But all of a sudden, putting a fireplace in individual rooms, you got to shut doors, and people developed.
Oh, so we're talking about like castles.
Like, but it's in the history though of the written art form about how like all of a sudden, and it talked about how like during the highest point, like you couldn't even say the word leg because leg was considered pornographic. You had to say limb.
Oh,
instead.
Just like I Love Lucy.
Well, it's the same thing. Like where, but it was like, and like they said, like people didn't even eat chicken breast; they dined on bosom, which I actually think is more sexual
and a little cannibalistic,
right? And so anyway, but it was a fascinating listen. It's literally like an hour, and I listened to audiobooks at more than one speed. Anyway, fascinating little thing. Just eternity made me think of that. Anyway, continue.
All right. I can't wait to see what you tangent on the next word I say. But yeah, so Rob had 2 hours for this work function across the street from a Target and a Kohl's. Dashed into Kohl's really fast. Not much for me there. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go to Target. And then in my head, I was like, well, there's a Costco around the corner, so maybe I'll run over there. I'll go to Home Depot, which I did end up stopping at Home Depot to look at their Halloween decor for like 1 second, but they didn't have anything I wanted. Everything at Home Depot is like super gore, scary, like Universal Horror Nights kind of stuff. Like it's all monstery and gory and scary. It's not like... I like fun. I like smiling jack-o'-lanterns. I like retro kind of decorations, very vintage.
If it's gonna be spooky looking, at least it needs to have like Lewis going on, right?
That kind of stuff, like more Target-y stuff. I don't need like Mickey jumping out of a pumpkin, but I also don't need like everything Pennywise all the time. But like Pennywise's ultimate form, where he's all like teeth and claws, it gets real gore.
Well, and also like to preempt the comments, I'm also thrilled that like you didn't really have to throw any money at Home Depot because I don't agree with their politics.
Correct.
So like just to preempt the comments on that, like so that worked out.
And it's funny because when I went to Home Depot before I went to Target, I thought I was going to go to Costco, and Home Depot has all their pumpkins and mums and stuff, which I like to buy every year to decorate the outside of the house. But I remember when we went to Costco last week that their pumpkins are like insanely cheap. I'm talking like that giant pumpkin was $7. They also had the mini pumpkins 2 for $5. At Home Depot, the mini pumpkins were 1 for $6, and the giant pumpkins were like 19.
What?
So yeah, I was like, and the giant pumpkins weren't even giant; they were just like normal size. So
that's
I was like,
crazy.
Screw it, I'm going to go to Costco. Yeah. But yeah, we try not to give money to Home Depot if we can help it.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I went to Target, and because I had time to kill and I didn't know how long Rob was going to be, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a full-on Target deep clean. I'm going to check every single aisle, which I have never done. Obviously, I didn't go through like children's clothing or anything, but
did you end up going through like the ghost of electronics and the disastrous shelving of records?
Yeah, because I always want to like, you never know what's going to be on crazy sale, which I have a story about in 5 seconds. But like,
I'm sorry, I was asking.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I did. I went through electronics. I went through everything that like we partake in, and like one aisle I went down, I don't even think existed. It was very Narnia. There was a rug, and I was like, I've been wanting a rug for the kitchen, like a nice area rug to get rid of all the like little mats that we trip on constantly. So I was like, I want to get like a full-size area rug to just kind of fill the kitchen. And I saw one that was like very 90s. It's like 90s pastels, squares. It's really cute. It was in the like kids kind of clearance section. And I was like, oh, the shelf said it was $16, but I was like, this is a nice, brand new, very wrapped up rug. And it's normally $60. And so I was like, I think someone put this back in the wrong section. But I was like, I'll just go scan it for shits and gigs.
Those scanners are so fun.
And I scanned it and it was $16. And I was like, okay, I have to get it. Even if I get it home and it doesn't fit the space and it's ugly and I don't like it, I got to get it because it's $16 as opposed to $60. You can't walk past a deal like that. But yeah, I went through homewares, electronics, even toys, because we found some really good Simpsons stuff. I got the Moe's bar phone.
Which I should have brought in here for this.
It's a very good sound cuer.
Yeah.
You push a button and it does almost every single one of the BART.
It has a handset as well. Like once you get it out of like retail demonstration
I was going to say, so it's an old timey phone. It's red.
And
if you pick up the receiver, does the sound convert to the receiver or does it still come out of the phone?
I don't know. I haven't like it is packaged. Like, it is zip tied and taped down.
It
and
is,
just
like, in a crazy way.
It is. I mean, and I get it. It's a borderline collectible, but also a toy. But like, it is a thing where like they packaged it like they never want you to open it.
It is designed to stay in the box, kind of,
Probably.
because we got the Krusty doll too, and like the Krusty doll is fully designed to stay in the box. Is a display piece.
Yeah. Although once you take it out of the box, you have full access to the evil and good switch.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so it's basically a borderline replica of the prank red phone in the Moe's Tavern at Universal Studios. When you pick it up, you hear like an automated conversation of Bart asking,
See more butts.
yeah, and then Moe saying, hey everybody, I want to see more butts, or
Yeah.
everyone put down your glasses, I wanna tinkle.
Yeah.
Because Moe always has the best setups for every name. He always happens to just pick the worst ones,
Yeah.
Why can't I find Amanda hug and kiss? So but yeah, so that was a fun one.
So yeah, I grabbed that right away because the same thing happened last time I went to that Target. That's when I found the Krusty doll, and I was like, I'm taking it. I didn't even look at the price. I just put it in the cart because I was like, we have to have this.
Well, and the best thing about the Krusty doll is like, even like later when I went to Target with you, we saw one, and it was not where it was supposed to be, but also there were no others. And so I think that's the funny thing about the Krusty doll is even when you found it, there was one. Like, the fact that it doesn't seem like a mass-produced item, it literally seems like you're finding a cursed doll in Target. There's a weird kind of magic to that, and that it's happened to you, and it literally happened to me as well. Like, there were no others.
What else did I get? Then the other reason I wanted to go to Target is because they finally put out their Halloween section, which I feel like, I don't know if it's because we're in the upper corner of the country, far away from everyone else, if it's a trucking issue, I don't know what it is, but all of our Targets in Seattle get everything 2-3 weeks after the rest of the country gets it. Like, I saw so many TikToks of people in the Midwest and the South and the East Coast going through a completed Halloween section at Target weeks ago. And so I finally made the trek to go to our Target a couple weeks, like last week, and they were like, oh yeah, we're not getting it until this date, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, everyone else has had it for weeks and you guys don't even have it for another week? But finally, it was fully stocked and set up, and it was such a delight. They even had, Rob had mentioned it earlier, they had one of the Lewis decorations, which if you're not familiar, last year, the viral Halloween decoration of the moment was this 12-foot tall, 15-foot tall animatronic pumpkin guy in like a shawl and a hat. He kind of looked like Gandalf, and he is motion activated, and he talks to you, and he moves.
And what does he say his name is not? Is it is not Jack?
I want to say it's all pre-recorded lines, obviously.
Yeah.
And one is like, I'm not a jack-o'-lantern. My name is Lewis. And he's just got all this like almost like campy sass in his voice. And all of his responses were like that. And so it went viral because they were like, look at this sassy pumpkin Target selling.
I remember all the comments where people were transcribing Lewis came with either sparkles around it or the nail emoji, like of the nail with the paint.
Yeah.
So it was Lewis.
He got a little swish in his step.
Yeah. Well, we all embraced Lewis.
We did. He was just a mascot of the times. And
it's funny because we did not buy a Lewis last year nor this year.
Yeah.
Like, he's somebody that we've appreciated very much online. He's also very large.
A fun fact about our home, we have 0 outdoor electrical outlets. It's very weird. So when we want to plug anything in outside, I got one of those like light socket converters for the backyard. So the light socket is now a plug. But then for like the front yards and stuff, I have to run
extension cord palooza.
Yeah, I have to run an extension cord out of the garage, under the garage door, and around the water spigot. And then we can plug in our inflatables and our Christmas lights and such. But yeah, we have a lot of space, but we don't really have anywhere to plug in outdoor decorations. So that's why we've never gotten a Lewis. We've never gotten the, 25-foot tall skeleton from Home Depot. Oh, it's only 12 foot. The gigantic skeleton, A, it's from Home Depot, but B, he plugs in and we just don't have the outlets for it.
Also, I have to say, with the giant Home Depot yard skeleton, I love the overall concept. They went too far. Like, I don't need the eyes that animate that have all the extra shit going on. It was just funny when it was a giant skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it to feel like it's alive. I just...
Which obviously you can turn that off and it just has black eyes.
I know, but it just seems unnecessary. It just, like, the skeleton was so funny on its own. Like, that was just a weird thing. And I don't know. I feel like...
I love when Halloween decorations and Christmas decorations stuff go viral, and 9 times out of 10 when they do, we buy them. But
Well-
we also don't have the storage for that skeleton, so we would have to be one of those people that leaves it up year round and then has costumes made for it for each holiday.
Yeah. Well, and not to skip ahead, but one item that so like I'm very much one of those people of like every time I see new holiday decor come in, I'm always like, where's that going? Like, do we know what we're doing with this? Because I feel like we're almost out of surfaces just to decorate with, let alone to store them afterwards.
Yeah, we've been on the cusp of having to get a storage unit for years, but we're very close to running out of space.
And I feel like we have to just make decisions instead of.
I've been
doing
trying.
that. And so
I've been trying.
But yeah, but like then I was roaming on TikTok later and I saw a really hilarious TikTok or a Target Halloween decoration that just it's saying one thing, but it very much sounds like another. And it's basically, I would say, probably likely to be the new meme Halloween decoration of the year. And so I immediately went on the app and found it and bought it before it sells out. And so like, while I'm very glad that you had the restraint to not get it in person, then I saw it and I was like, well, we got to get this now.
Yeah.
So of course it's been ordered.
Yeah. I was walking around the Halloween. So I get to the Halloween decoration section and like really good candies this year. And, really good. Like they turned Lewis into a character. So now you can get like a coloring book of Lewis and his friends. They added friends. There's new skeletons and jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkins
in the app
to
it
go
literally
along
is
with
called
Lewis.
Like Lewis and Friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a brand.
And
almost.
so like he went viral and they leaned into it. But so I get to like the small decor section and there's this little like dancing robot section. There's like 3 of them, but one of them is a jack-o'-lantern that's wearing like jazzercise gear. And when you press his button, because you have to press a button, he's not just motion activated. When you press his button, he says something in jazzercise lingo.
Well, he's a pumpkin and he's in aerobic wear and he wants to get pumped.
Oh, he's saying pumped, but
he wants to
because
get pumped.
It's a recording put on a flash drive, put through a MIDI speaker or something.
Yeah, it is.
It's very tinny and very fast and very weird, and so it sounds like it's that I want to get fucked.
Like, and he sounds very serious, and he's been doing like a little like animation about it. But let's get those gross seeds out. I want to get fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like, whoa. So very looking forward to getting him.
I had already known that it went viral last week and I saw it at Target and I was like,
idea.
I was like, I should get this. But then I was like, no, they have a ton of them. Like maybe we can come back. And I do that thing every time where like I imprint it on my brain as a joke, as something I like, as something I want. And I'm like, I should have gotten it. I just got to get it. Like, usually if Rob and I are together and we make an inside joke about something, I'm like, I got to buy it because now we have a fun memory about it and fun memories are rare. And so I got to get it and like add it to our life. And, but I did, because I had seen that decoration go viral by myself and like, I thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was like insane. But anyway, literally the night of, I think you saw a TikTok of that going viral and it cracked you up and you just went to the app and bought it. And I was like, I literally had that in my hand 4 hours ago.
Well, it's the same as, and this ties into another thing that you bought, which I think is kind of fun. But like last year, I immediately, as soon as I saw it online, I was like, before they recall this, I'm ordering it.
That's a couple years ago.
Was it oh God. Oh yeah, I guess we've used it for 2 years now, haven't we?
We haven't used it.
No. We've displayed it. So Target had a thing go like, I guess, mini viral. I don't know. At least I saw it on TikTok. And it was
on Instagram too. It was big.
It was a long golden
lion
menorah and
metal.
Yeah, and like from one side it looked like a long, like reclining lion, and with the candle holes at the top,
like a sphinx, but on its side.
Yeah, and if you turn it around, though, just the way that it is shaped and sort of molded, and then its tail makes it look like a giant piece of anatomy currently in the midst of a very
it looks like a giant
act.
dick and balls,
but
a very erect dick and balls.
But also, it doesn't. But because the tail doesn't almost kind of look like it's in the middle of something, like a middle of a climactic moment. Or am I crazy?
No, because the head of the dick is the lion's
yes.
mane.
Okay, so I'm thinking backwards. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, because the tail, I was like, wait, how's that thing? No.
The tail wraps around the balls.
But it's very much like very dick and ballish.
Yeah.
And so like hilarious to me when I saw it. I was like, I'm getting that immediately.
Well,
we're not even
also,
Jewish.
You ordered it and gave it to me as a Christmas gift as a joke. So
Oh,
I was
yeah.
surprised with it.
Did
And it arrived a week late. Like I got it on New Year's.
Did I put it in the stocking?
I don't remember what you did, but like the decoration, Christmas was over, but the decorations were still up. So yeah, I think you put it in the stocking. And one day you were like, "Hey, go check your stocking," and I was like, we did stockings on Christmas," and you're like, "Go check your stocking." And so yeah, we have the viral lion dick and balls menorah, and now because I took a picture of it and posted it and made a joke, and people really liked it. Of course, I had to buy the black skeleton hands holding a bottle of wine holder. And if it's not holding a bottle of wine, it just looks like two skeleton hands giving a massive BJ, or I guess HJ.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously,
it's reflecting both girth and length. It is a two-hand job.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, I got to get the HJ wine holder. And then I didn't even think of this, but when I was showing Rob all the stuff I bought, which I did a lot of damage, I'll do a verbal haul in a second. But when I was showing Rob all this stuff, he was like, well, we got to put the dick menorah in it. And I was like, oh my God, that's genius. So whenever I finally get out all the Christmas decorations, get ready for a picture. We will be putting the dick menorah in the HJ wine holder.
Yes. Like I love, an unusual application of things. And so like, it's funny, like no one should be surprised. Like you get a chair, I'm like, we could use that like this. And so, yeah, as soon as I saw the wine holder, I was like, the Rolodex was flipping and I was like, what can we put in that?
Yeah.
And yeah, the menorah.
Well, and so when I was shopping for Halloween decor, this has come with age. Now that I'm 44, I've had several adult Halloweens under my belt. We kind of have every decoration we need.
Yeah.
I still bought a lot of stuff because it was cool. And I was like, we have to have this. And I collect jack-o'-lanterns. So like I had to add a new jack-o'-lantern, which is like a my size jack-o'-lantern. He's humongous. He's giant. And he was super cheap. And so I got a giant light up jack-o'-lantern. But like we really have everything. I think that's why I didn't get the viral want to get fucked jack-o'-lantern jazzercise guy, because we already have so many things. But
well, and I've been having like the nostalgia missings on an old piece of Halloween decor that I used to have, and I have no idea what happened to it. I had a thing of the Crypt Keeper strapped to an electric chair, and he like vibrated and shook and it lit up, and then he would laugh, and it was super fun. And because I think the Crypt Keeper is one of the most charming,
I love him,
characters that has ever been developed.
He's so cute.
Yeah, I think he's super fun. And
was he developed by Jim Henson?
He might have been. I'm not sure. But I find him so charming, especially when he wears a tuxedo.
Yeah.
Because
he's
a
Cookie Monster and Telly style Muppet where like a human is in him operating and stuff, but he's on top of them.
Yeah. And John Kasser is just, that voice. So good. Yeah. Anyway, I love the Crypt Keeper.
I don't know what happened to it either, because obviously we've moved several times. I've gone through every box that you own. Right. So I don't think we have it.
There's no bins that have been untouched after this many moves, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's gone.
How big was it?
Probably like maybe a little over a foot tall.
Oh, okay.
It might have been stored in a giant blue bin. Who knows? It might even be at my mom's house somewhere.
Yeah, but your mom's so good about decorating for the holidays that I feel like she would have found it.
Yeah, or she might have just been like, oh, this is Rob's and I'm storing it, and she always forgets to tell me about it. That sounds like a thing my mom would do.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, one of the main reasons I went to Target was because I also had a $25 gift card. And so I was like, well, I'll just go peruse. Maybe I'll pick up something. Maybe I'll use my gift card as like a little coupon and get maybe $40 worth of stuff and take $25 off. Nope. I got over $200 worth of stuff.
I mean, it was still a coupon, just a less effective one.
Right. But I found a deodorant I've been looking for a long time. It's a cool cotton scented Old Spice men's deodorant. Only sold at Target. So that I was like, well, I got to finally get in on that. I tried to get it on Amazon. It was hella expensive on Amazon. So Target it is. Even on the Target app, they're like, no, we're not shipping this to you for less than $15. So I finally got a deodorant I've been wanting to try because, I love my smell goods. Mm-hmm. New smells. And this one smells so delicious. I'm wearing it right now. Got that new deodorant I've been looking for. Got a good clutch of Halloween decor that I'm very excited about. Again, didn't go crazy because we don't have a lot of space, but I got funny jokes and I also got sentimental jokes, and it's really good stuff. I got a box of candy bars because they had this like 24 pack of full size was like Twix, Snickers, Milky Way, and
Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers. And it was like on super sale for like full bars. It was less than $1 a bar. And so I was like, well, I love candy bars. This will be my Halloween candy for me. And Rob saw it. He's like, we're giving out full-size bars this year. And I was like, bitch, these are for me. We don't give out candy. No one trick-or-treats in our neighborhood.
We always buy it as if we do. Like, we always have a bowl of candy, I guess, just in case there's a sudden...
wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I buy it because I think I'm going to give it away.
Well, like, you don't have to put it in a bowl. We don't have to play this game.
It's for me.
Then don't put it in a bowl. We don't have to play this game.
But it's fun to go through the motions.
Oh, okay.
Makes me feel like I'm contributing to society and not just buying Halloween candy to eat. Okay. You know, you don't get it because you don't understand food. But I love a full size candy bar, and they were hella cheap, so I got them.
Don't understand food is still a phrase I will never understand that you keep accusing me of, but that's fine.
Do you dream about it? Do you get excited about it? Do you think about it 24 hours a day?
Yeah, I just don't vocalize it. It's not my personality, but I get excited about food.
Materialize it?
Does that mean do I cook food? Yes, I cook food.
But no, I'm saying, like, do you dream about a burger all day and then you go get that burger?
Do you ever see me have any restraint about getting what I want to eat when I want something?
I guess not really.
Yeah.
But you're just not excited about it like I am. Anyway, there was lots of full-size candy bar judgment, but it's fine. Because at least I got candy bars out of the deal.
It was mostly just questions. I was like, okay. Well, also, you're leaving town.
I'm taking them with me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Jesus.
It was a thing of just like, it's weird when you see a different format of item coming into the house than you typically do. Like, if all of a sudden, like, we only started buying like milk by the pint, I would be like, what are we doing? Why did that happen? But like, you know, you usually tend to buy either king size bars for yourself or like the family fun size bags for yourself.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden to see a case of full size bars, I'm like that's the kind of shit we can usually get at Costco also.
Yeah.
Like, and so I was just like, this is okay. Like, it was just one of those things of like, I was curious. And then you like later said that it was on mega sale. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But, you know, just curious.
And then what else did I get? Oh, I got the Cinnamon Toast Crunch loaded cereal. That's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch with like pretty much vanilla icing filled in the middle. It's like Crave cereal, if you've ever had Crave.
The artwork on it is very suggestive.
Very sexual. It looks like cum. It's all over the cereal. And that another kind of virally joke that Rob sent me as a meme. And so I was like, I got to get loaded. Whoa. I love that it's called loaded.
Right? No, like seriously, this was a thing where it was made to meme.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I guess check out. So this Target, and it's kind of like, I don't know, we've noticed in Seattle and Washington, the checkout process is always so long and very slow. And a lot of places don't have baggers, which is fine. Love bagging my own groceries. Love bagging my own stuff. It's weird that we don't bag our own stuff. We're like the only country in the world that has bag boys. Every other country in the world, you bag your own groceries. But like, yeah, when we first moved here, it was kind of a culture shock of like how slow the checkout process is at grocery stores and Targets and such.
Yeah.
But this was the smoothest, fastest checkout process ever, except she did double charge me for something I didn't notice till I got to the car. But I went inside and said, hey, you charged me for $2. And they're like, okay. And they just refunded it. Like, no questions asked. Didn't even have to show the product. Didn't have to open the bag. She was like, oh, okay. She scanned my receipt and just credited me the money for the double charge.
Nice.
Yeah. So a very delicious, usable Target experience. And then Rob texted me and was like, okay, I'm done. And I realized I had been there for 2 hours. I had been at Target for almost 2 hours, and I killed all the time that I had away from him. And so I was like,
when you're having fun, right?
I was like, all right, well, I'll come back and get you. And then we went to the mall.
Yeah. More shopping.
Yeah. Bitches be mallin'. Cause like I've been wanting to go to the Lego store for a while. There's new Lego things coming out.
Yeah. He's having a bit of a Lego renaissance.
Surprise, surprise. The Legos that I want, they're Christmas Legos, but they don't come out till October 1st. So we were too early. They didn't have them for us.
But you were able to you didn't walk out empty handed.
Oh no, I'll find something. I got a pot, like a little potted plant. I like to do all the Lego plants and flowers and stuff. So for Christmas, they're coming out with a poinsettia in a pot, which looks adorable. And then they're doing a wreath.
And they're non-poisonous to dogs.
Exactly. Well, she could choke on them.
Well, yeah, but at least it's not like if she eats they're not toxic like if she eats a leaf
yeah.
from the plant.
And yeah, so I got some flowers and such, and then we went to the Cheesecake Factory for a belated birthday dinner from Rob's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, it was delicious. I love Cheesecake Factory. Those fried mac and cheese balls.
So good.
That's something I dream about. They're
Well, and
just so luxurious.
Well, and that's a situation where I don't even crack the menu. I know exactly what I want
Yeah.
when I get there. It's so easy. It's,
Same.
Yeah.
I get the chicken salad sandwich with fries. You get the crusted chicken Romano. We always get mac and cheese balls as an appetizer and lots of bread.
Typically, they have Coke Zero. When they don't,
Oh yeah, they were.
You
He was
pivot.
like, we don't have Coke Zero right now. I was like, no.
seriously, that was upsetting.
But it's fine. We did Diet Coke,
Yeah, we make do.
like plebes, like the plebes we are.
Seriously.
But
I mean, like, where's my parade?
yeah.
We make do.
Well, and then I noticed a bunch of people walking around with Apple bags, and I realized it was the iPhone release day, and
yeah.
so everybody was getting their phones and watches. There's new watches too, so it was quite an adventurous mall day.
Yeah, we ended up going to Lush.
Oh yeah, we went to Lush, which wasn't even on the list, but we were walking by, and
Of course,
they
their
had
smells are very enticing anyway.
that whole wing of the mall smells like Lush. But they did a Beetlejuice collection, and I was like, well, hello, come on, I gotta go. Like, if there's Beetlejuice merch, I gotta get Beetlejuice merch.
Which, I mean, yeah, a lot of it's standard bath bomby stuff, just with, weird colors or cute branding.
But yeah.
But
They did Bob's Shrunken Head as a bath bomb, so
Yeah.
we got a couple of those because he's adorable.
Yeah, it's truly like it looks like a shrunken head. It's very cute.
And I got more shower gel, which Rob was just making fun of me in the car before we even got to the mall about how much shower gel I buy because I just love different smells and I never know how I want to smell.
But also, like, the Body Shop Advent Calendar really did kind of just blow up the amount of like when you get in our shower, it's kind of like being in the birds, except instead of birds, it's bottles of body wash. You're surrounded on three sides, or at least you were for a while, because like there were so many bottles from the Advent Calendar. It was fine, but it was very much one of those things of like, you just happen to notice it all of a sudden. You're like, oh.
Well, and a lot of it too is going to Bath and Body Works, which we also did to get some stuff. That's on the list. We'll get there in a second. But going to Bath and Body Works, it's always like buy 4, get 4 free or something. Like there's always like a mega deal. So I'm like, well, I got to get 8 bottles of body wash because I never know what I want to smell like. I want to smell different every day. But yeah, we went to Lush to get the Beetlejuice collection and I got the shower gel and some bath bombs. And the flavor, the scent of Beetlejuice is literally just grape soda. And so I was like, this kind of smells like grape soda, but I didn't like use it in the store. And when we got home, I washed my hands with it. My hands smelled like grape soda for like an hour.
That's not a bad smell.
No, it was great. Although it's brightly dyed purple. It almost looks like purple shampoo, which I heard can stain your shower. So I'm a little nervous of using it because I'm like, oh, I don't want to stain the shower purple.
Well, I guess, yeah, use it in the stainless steel sinks.
Yeah, just wash my body in the kitchen. But yeah, so then after that, we went to BB Dubs because we do the refillable foaming soap system where you get like the glass pump and then you can get the little like milk cartons of soap to
They look
refill
like
it with.
juice. It's
juice.
It's an accident waiting to happen.
But yeah, so we went to just get the refills and then the sales associate at BB Dubs was very, I don't want to say, she wasn't aggressive. She was very sweet, but she was very like on her job. She was like, did you know we're doing this sale today? If you look in the app, you have a special coupon for this, blah, blah, blah. And she did all this stuff. When I opened my app, she went to like a special section. She's like, oh, you also have a free product. Oh, you have another free product. And so ended up getting 2 new shower gels. But they were completely free. I was like, these coupons expire and they're free. I have to take it. It's free. And so I was like, because before we got to the mall, Rob was making fun of me about shower gels, like I said. And I was like, well, I have enough shower gel and I'm probably not going to get any more. And then I ended up getting 3 bottles of it on that trip. But like, it's not my fault. Also, they smell delicious.
And I just, in good fun, like, I mean, there are worse things to collect. Like, you could collect things that smell bad somehow.
Right.
Like, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm collecting those corpse flowers again. No, stop. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They could be anything else. Like, body wash is fine. It's contained. It's okay.
Yeah. And we have the shower space for it because there's a lot of random tile ledges in our shower for
Seriously.
some reason.
And I am a simple man who needs little to no space. So, like,
literally, you have a bottle of shampoo and a bar of soap.
yeah, I keep it simple.
But yeah, so that was our BB Dubs trip. And then that was our Friday shopping adventure.
Right? Was that it? Did we do anything else? I feel like we did so much damage.
Well, it was also because it was in Redmond. we had to drive all the way home through traffic in the city, and 5 o'clock on a Friday coming back into the city is kind of a shit show.
Yeah.
So we were in traffic for a while, but yeah. And then when we got home, you fell asleep on the sofa.
Oh yeah, I slept 13 hours.
Yeah, and I cuddled with Ruby. I mean, shopping. First of all, you had to like do that work event, so that was like, a lot high energy for you. And then all the shopping and the malling and the Cheesecake Factory and the driving. So you fell asleep, and then I was cuddling with Ruby on the guest bed and watching TikTok for hours, and all of a sudden it was like midnight. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I started a new book, and I was just like, oh, this is taxing. I'm going to bed.
Well, welcome to your 40s.
Well,
We get it done during the day. All right. Well, having said all that, I think it's time to move on to our final segment, which is What's Your Order? What's Your Order? I have here our handy dandy trusty tin popcorn bucket from Beetlejuice, the handbook for the recently deceased, filled with food ideas, restaurants, holidays, locations, anything that has to do with food. And so, Rob, I think your turn. It's your turn. Or is it my turn?
Yeah, it's yours.
Okay. Today's What's Your Order. Can you guys hear that? Sounds like popcorn. All right. Today's What's Your Order is cake. Just the word cake. Ugh.
I was looking for applause, but we got a rim shot instead.
Whoa. All right. Well, I have a lot to talk about this because, I am a connoisseur of cake.
Well, I can go real fast.
All right, you go first.
I like a chocolate cake with a chocolate frosting. I like a yellow cake with a chocolate frosting. I keep it simple. I like a red velvet when you get one. Other than that, though, I'm more of a cookie person.
Yeah.
I would say. Like,
you also like hot cookies.
I do. And yeah, cake is fine. But yeah, it's weird. I feel like I either would rather have a cookie or a brownie. So... Okay. But yeah, cakes are fine.
Which a brownie is just a deflated cake,
right? But yeah, I often feel like cakes have too much frosting. Like, Lord help me if there's fruit in it. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like I can keep it real simple, and I can let you wax poetic about cake.
Well, first of all, my favorite cake is red velvet. It has to be my birthday cake. I love it so much, and you always like special order one for me from Nothing Bundt Cakes, which is my favorite cake chain.
I have learned.
Which there needs to be more cake franchises. Okay, there needs to be like, if there's a McDonald's in every corner, there needs to be a cake.
I feel like Nothing Bundt's doing a good job. I feel like if there's another one open, then every cake business is at risk.
Yeah,
like it might just be a little too much there. I don't know if there's the demand.
I guess I just wish they were closer.
Yeah, or people need to start having more events in their lives that weren't cakes.
That's how I was introduced to Nothing Bundt Cake was your mom, because your mom is so good about buying cakes, buying desserts, getting things for people for their birthday. Like your mom has she knows that people want a cake for their birthday and Christmas and Easter. Your mom's great with cakes.
Yeah, and she's prepared.
And so is Debbie, family friend / aunt Debbie. And Debbie's really good. Debbie was one of the first people I ever met that went to a Cheesecake Factory and bought a whole cheesecake for a holiday party. I was like, I didn't know people actually did that. And that was like, I don't know, our first or second. No, it was in the big house. So it was a few Christmases later. But
that is a large residence, not jail.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that's what they call prisons. But yeah, it was in your parents' new house. Debbie bought that cheesecake, and I was like, this is luxury. This is luxury at its finest. A full-on cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. But yeah, so my favorite birthday cake is red velvet with cream cheese frosting. Gotta be. My second favorite cake is carrot cake with cream cheese frosting, which I guess I just love cream cheese. Cream cheese frosting. God, astrophysicist. That's hard to say.
Cake is a vehicle for cream cheese frosting, kind of like how most things are a vehicle for mayonnaise.
And ranch, yes.
Yeah. Sauces.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the sauce of cake.
Yes. And I love extra icing. I'm one of those people, when you go to Cinnabon, you get an extra thing of icing for the Cinnabon. Because that's frosting too. It's not like glaze or drizzle or anything. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So carrot cake. Love carrot cake. And then there's not really a cake that I hate. I don't really like I said, I love carrot cake, but like when it comes to like fully spiced cakes, like a pumpkin cake or something, I'm going to walk past it. I'm not really going to enjoy it.
Fruit cake?
Well, I was getting there.
Okay.
But yeah, which falls in line with spice cakes. Fruit cakes are very spiced and also like chewy, like dried cherries, dried raisins, I guess raisins are inherently dried. Lots of dried fruits in a fruit cake, and they're always just like rock hard and dry. Not my scene. I don't like fruit cakes for Christmas. I'd much rather have a carrot cake, or like a yellow cake or something. And then the other thing is I will maybe take a couple bites out of politeness, because I'm that type of person that like I will always take one bite of something to be nice, even if I don't like it. But the one thing that grosses me out is a soggy cake, which is like a tres leches cake. And I was introduced to those in LA. Everybody always gets like a tres leches for their birthdays. When I worked in a lot of restaurants, which is literally just like a soggy cake with like pudding in it. And then they always put like fresh berries on top. I don't want fresh fruit anywhere near a cake, especially when it comes to frosting. Also, when it comes to frosting, I need cream cheese frosting or buttercream. I don't want whipped cream frosting. I hate whipped cream frosting. It's so gross.
Oh.
It comes on a lot of like Walmart cakes. I don't like it at all. It's just, I don't want those textures. I don't want like a whipped cream silky frosting with a cake.
That's right. I don't think I fully can imagine a whipped cream frosting. Like it's okay. It's I guess my experience with the cake is very limited. I'm a canned frosting kind of guy. But like it's funny because I remember it was just after we'd met. I think you ended up talking to my sister after her disastrous effort trying to make frosting for a sheet cake that she made for herself. She got her recipes
mixed up.
Yeah, she used sugar instead of powdered sugar, and she ended up with the weirdest frosting known to mankind.
It was literally just granulated sugar and butter whipped into a solid ball,
and
I was
so
like, "This is
and weird."
It never made it to a cake surface.
Did not.
Luckily, she knew before frosting the cake that it was not right.
But yeah, my sister has no business in a kitchen. Like, love you dearly, but. That's just the part of your brain that's missing. It's okay.
Some people just don't have head for things.
It's true.
But yeah, like the tres leche cake, they're kind of like, I don't know. It's a texture thing. They're a little slimy. They're always like, it's pretty much just pudding with cake in it. I don't know. I don't like them. I just don't like them. But the flavor's good. I'll do a tres leche latte, or ice cream. Something that's like tres leches flavored.
Yeah.
I'm on board. But when it comes to actuality of eating that cake, I can't do it. It's too mushy. Same goes for like a treacle, which is just...
What is that?
No, trifle. Trifle.
Oh, yeah, trifle,
Which your mom made one year for a holiday, and I was like, oh no, she ruined it.
Well, trifles just have such a... I think they have an air of like, ooh, la-di-da, and plus they require like a special vessel, which my mother has.
Yeah, I think...
And so you want to use it.
The dish telling people how to make their dessert instead of their dessert guiding the dish.
Yeah, it's like the are the clothes wearing the person kind of a thing. Yeah.
But yeah, that is just literally hand torn. You can cube it, but most people just crumble it. Cake layered with fresh fruit and like pudding or whipped cream.
Does that get lady fingers and amaretto as well, or is that a different thing?
That is oh god, people are screaming right now. That is... Oh no. What is that cake called? Why did you do this, Rob?
I will literally get up and grab my phone.
Yeah, go grab your phone because I'm freaking out. Tiramisu. I figured it out. Whew, that was almost bad.
I'm back.
That's tiramisu, where you like soak the ladyfingers with espresso.
Got it.
And layer it with cream and stuff.
That's another soggy dessert, though.
That's another soggy dessert. And like, again, I can do it, but I also want to enjoy coffee with a cake. I don't want coffee in the cake.
Yeah. Well, and okay, so I have another cake thing to add, because like I know that you enjoy these, and I do feel bad saying this because it just I don't want to weird anybody out, but cake pops. I love the concept of them. Mm-hmm. The first bite's always great. Second bite is usually on the floor. You mean
because it crumbled or because you threw it there?
Because it falls off the stick.
Yeah.
At that point, like you kind of need to just the whole thing, or you're doomed. But like the fact is, I know how they're made, so I can't get over the fact that the texture of them inside is, let's call it ABC cake, and that it's a little bit just kind of like cake that's been pre-chewed and mashed up for you, and then kind of reconstituted. And I get it; it still just tastes like cake, but it's more of like doughy because it's been compressed with frosting. But yeah, like I often use the term ABC to describe any sort of texture that just feels like it's been processed for me.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at with cake pops.
Which I love cake pops. That's not a bad texture for me because it's mostly candy at that point. Like it's no longer really a cake. It's mushed into like fudge, and it just kind of tastes like a bonbon or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
A truffle. Which ultimately that's what they are. Cake pops are just like truffles on a stick.
Yeah.
But I love cake pops.
Well, it's like, yeah, if you take a brownie, you can like literally roll them into a ball.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of that same effect.
But also they're rich. Like cake pops are rich and like they're an acquired taste. You can eat a slice of cake because it takes a while and you're probably doing sips of coffee and stuff between. But a cake pop is pretty much an entire slice of cake smashed down into a paste. And so it's richer. You're getting
the
more
espresso shot of cake.
Yes, cake pops are the espresso of cake. You're getting a concentrated version, you know? And so when you eat it, it's just like, oh, this is rich. And you can't really eat more than like 2. But I kind of mentioned it earlier, but like another cake I like is breakfast cakes, aka and we're back. Sorry, something's in my throat and I can't get rid of it. Anyway, another thing I like is breakfast cakes, aka muffins and coffee cakes, because there's never an inappropriate time during the day to have a cake. I love a blueberry muffin, as do you, right?
No
Oh,
blueberry.
you like chocolate.
Yeah.
You like a chocolate chip muffin.
But I also like cornbread muffins. Like
Yes.
I make cornbred muffins all the like
Which
those
is
Jiffy
just
boxes.
cornbread in muffin form,
I
right?
don't know, but like they're
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just cornbread in a muffin tin.
Okay. But yeah, I'm down. I love cornbread.
Right?
And
it feels cakey to me.
I'm very much, because I grew up this way, my mom made sweet cornbread. So it's very much like not even as a dessert, like you eat it with chili, you know, or you eat it with tacos or whatever. Like, sweet cornbread is a dinner side, not a dessert. But I like cornbread. I like the cornbread that has chunks of corn in it too. I like a little texture.
Well, I grew up with, you know, the Jiffy box where you throw in like 2 eggs and some milk or whatever, or like an egg and milk, and that's it. And
I think it's an egg and milk.
yeah, and my sister and I used to like occasionally, I think on like weekends when we had the time, she'd be like, "I'm gonna make corn muffins," and like all of a sudden it was just like cool. We would just throw a pat of butter on them and cut them down the middle and kind of let the butter ooze in, and they were just like hop, hop, 2 little bites, delicious. But yeah, like my sister and I would go through a box of those at like Debbie's house or whatever. It was like a weekend. Like
I said with the crescent rolls, it's such an easy way to elevate a meal, and it's so fast, and like you have a fresh baked good in your home. It's fancy.
Yeah.
And they used to be 50 cents a box?
I think they were 75 cents, or might be up to 75 or $1, but yeah, they're still.
I think Jiffy is still $1 or below.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet it's still under $1.
Hopefully. But yeah, I also love, like I said, coffee cake. My mom makes a mean coffee cake, or like a strudel, but especially like a cinnamon crumbled coffee cake. Pillsbury used to do like a boxed coffee cake mix. They might still, I don't know. I haven't checked, but they used to do like a cinnamon crumbled coffee cake box mix where you just, you know, add eggs and oil, kind of like a cake, because it is a cake. It's dessert. And then it would come with like a drizzle that you would put on top. Oh my God, it's heaven. So good.
Not familiar.
I get that from my dad. My dad was always the type to like bring home a box of donuts, a coffee cake, a strudel. My dad loves a breakfast dessert, a sweet treat. As do I. I love a sweet breakfast.
You do, yes.
I do.
I mean, I guess technically I enjoy a sweet breakfast too, because I can eat like an entire box of like sugar cereal in less than a day.
You do.
If you let me, like, I grew up a child of boxed cereal, and my parents did not give a shit if it was sugar first ingredient or not, because like I wasn't like a bouncing off the walls kid. Like they didn't care. But yeah, like, so I remember when the Rice Krispie treat cereal came out, I did eat an entire box of that in one day. As a
I
child.
miss that cereal. It was so good.
So good.
Such horseshit that they discontinued it.
Right. Well, and they even like phased it into shit town before they phased it out entirely.
They tried to re-recipe
Yeah, because
it.
it used to be clumps of them, and then it was like individually coated Rice Krispies, which were just like not as good. And,
With like Lucky Charms style marshmallows.
right. And then it's just for the best that it just went away.
Yeah.
But anywho, but yeah, I guess I technically like a sweet breakfast. I mean, also, you know, like donuts, stuff like that. But
Which are cake? A cake donut.
oh yeah,
But you like a risen donut.
I like both. I do like both. I feel like actually a cake. It's weird. It's like they're both so different in how they interact with coffee, and I love them both in such different ways.
Yeah.
I typically associate a cake donut with coffee more than a risen donut with coffee. Although the risen donut with coffee turns into just disappears, while the cake one is like
Yeah.
cake.
Now that's a religion. That's the kind of risen I like, is a donut. And that's one of the things I miss most about LA, although I will say Seattle has a great donut scene. There's a chain called Mighty O, and then there's another one, Top Pot. Delicious donuts. Seattle has, and then there's a couple like viral fancy like wait an hour in line for donut places that I haven't been to.
Well, isn't there a Voodoo planned as well?
Yeah, Voodoo's coming up from Portland.
Right, because like I knew there was a Voodoo planned.
Which like local people are anti because it's Portland, like if you're born and raised in Seattle, I guess you're kind of anti-Portland. So
goofy,
like super local Seattleites are anti-Voodoo Donuts coming because they're, like I said, there are already good chains here, but I'm excited. I love Voodoo Donuts. That place is so good. And I love donuts so much. LA has donuts everywhere, especially when I first moved there in 2006. It was still like the land of the donut shop on every corner. A lot of them closed or got torn down for developments. But LA used to be the land of, it's like the donut shop was invented there or something. They were everywhere.
I can immediately envision what it's like to be in a Winchell's based on the smell of, because like they were the biggest chain in Las Vegas when I lived there. It was Winchell's all the time.
And a lot of them were 24 hours because I remember we used to get drunk food at Winchell's. Like we would go to Winchell's and get donuts and milk at 2 a.m. after drinking all night.
It's funny because like my thing was always to get the chocolate bar with a little, the half pint of chocolate milk.
A Long John.
Yep, exactly. And that was my Winchell's order when I was a kid.
Yeah. But yeah, the donut shops here in Seattle are good. I love Top Pot, and they're kind of everywhere. So you're never too far away from a good donut shop here. So way to go, Seattle. Good donuts.
So are there any sort of cakes that we need to cover to not annoy the comments? Do we talk about crab cakes or any sort of like super like urinal cakes? Anything really like weird?
No, we only need to talk about dessert cakes.
Okay.
And breakfast cakes. I think we're good on the savory cakes. Although I can add that into the box.
Johnny cakes, pancakes.
Yeah. Because someone did say, so we'd forgotten potato salad for the potato discussion, but then we'd also forgotten tater tots.
But like,
we're not tot people.
Exactly. Like, in all fairness, tater tots are not necessarily something that really crosses our radar that often. Occasionally I'll dabble and I'm always like, oh, a tater tot. And I'm like, I enjoy them, but I'm like, it's never enough to be like, I'm going to go out of my way to get tater tots.
Yeah. Like usually we get them when we're at like a brewery or a bar or something. Like tots are usually bar food.
Yeah.
And it's all you can get. So we're like, yeah, we'll do the tots.
Yeah. Like, oh, you don't have fries? I'll take the tots.
But when it comes to like home freezer, we always just buy fries or hash browns. We don't need tots.
Yeah. Tots almost feel like the is Pepsi okay kind of thing at a restaurant. Bit. Like,
I think like, I don't want to say I was traumatized by tots growing up, but it was always in our cafeteria. Like the potato option was always tater tots, and they were always kind of not fully cooked, so they fell apart into a pile of just potato crumbles.
I honestly think that might have been my problem too.
I like a crispy, hot tater tot that is just, it keeps its shape,
almost like a twice fried kind of thing. Like it's weird. Like I feel like that's probably the same issue for me, and I feel like who are these kids that grew up liking tater tots? Where were they having good tots?
Yeah,
because I can't think of a spot where I ever had them until I was an adult and like going to bars where like they knew how to prepare a tot.
Now I really want like tots and beer cheese.
Well, now I just want to throw tots into the waffle iron, which is, that thing in theory I always want to do.
That makes them extra crispy too. But yeah, a tater tot waffle, which we were introduced by your mom. Like a lot of the fun food stuff in our life has come from Arlene.
Well, I mean, she's retired and she has a lot of retired friends and they have a lot of time
they entertain.
Yes, they have a lot of time to entertain and to figure out really fun ways to use all of their varied kitchen tools because they have so many.
Rob's parents love to entertain, and also like a lot of firsts happened in my life where like they would have specific restaurants cater their meals. Like they were like, oh yeah, we went to the Chinese place down the road and got catering from them. And I was like, you can do that. I never even thought to do that. But yeah, you can order like catering trays from restaurants and have your parties catered.
Well, and also part of the magic of Southern California, my sister always hires the taco cart people to set up a flat top grill in her backyard.
Yeah, you can get a taco truck in your backyard.
Yeah, and so you just like literally just go there and they have like all the meats prepared and they just do fresh tortillas on a flat top and you just kind of go down a conveyor belt and get all the stuff. It's like, I mean, it's like I had work parties that use them all the time, but my sister literally has a favorite regular taco cart that she has hired multiple times.
Yeah. Well, one time there was drama because like the employee they sent to set up the cart was trying to like start her own business.
Oh, I
Remember
forgot
she
about
like
that.
passed out business cards for someone else's taco truck
Yes,
company
I forgot about
there was
that.
drama.
But it was funny, yeah. Like back in LA, like I even have a preferred moving service.
Yeah.
That like literally, I think I referred so many people to them, and I used them so many times that they started calling me asking if I knew anyone or if I was moving, which was always kind of weird. But
Hey, it's been a couple years. Are you ready to move again?
but it was funny because I would literally tell them, I was like, well, I'm not, but there were 3 people that I referred to you since the last time we spoke. And they're like, oh my God, thank you. And it was like, but I was like, they were so nice and so helpful to me that I totally didn't mind having a relationship in a sense with this moving company. Weird.
Yeah, there's a service for everything in LA.
Right.
It's a delight. But I bet if we looked, there's also a service for everything in Seattle.
I'm sure there is.
Because there's a lot of lazy people in the world.
Yeah.
But when it comes to cake, I would say there's 3 that I won't eat. Let's get back to cake and then finish this up.
All right.
Tres leches. I'm not ordering it. Okay. I don't want it. I will sample it, but I don't want it. Same goes for German chocolate. I don't like all the soupy coconut on top.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's got that like caramelized coconut goo
I
on
forget
top.
that's the German chocolate. And what is it? Is a Black Forest cake?
That's
is the one
third
that's,
cake I'm not ever going to eat because I don't want cherry flavoring with chocolate.
And that's in it, right?
Yeah, and it's mostly like cherry jam
Right.
in it.
Yeah, that's like the layers are botched.
Sorry, Germans, but your cakes just aren't doing it for me. I don't want Black Forest and I don't want German chocolate.
Well, and German chocolate sounds so good because I'm like, it sounds dark. It sounds chocolatey.
Yeah.
But coconut, no.
No. I will say though, German buttercream, I think I've only had it like one time, but I think it is the ultimate buttercream because it's like so. But you know, buttercream usually is just like butter and powdered sugar, and then there's like Swiss, which is like whipped egg whites and butter and powdered sugar, and then there's I think Italian buttercream, which is like whipped egg whites and sugar and stuff, but it's just a different process. And then German buttercream, I think, is literally like butter and egg yolks and sugar and stuff. Like it's like the richest buttercream, the heaviest, the thick, the most foundational buttercream you can get is German buttercream.
Right.
I feel like Japanese buttercream should be a thing. Like I bet they like do an amazing frosting in Japan.
Right? I imagine so.
But yeah, I can't think of any other cakes that I won't eat besides, like I said, like fruit cake, you know, but that's not even really a cake. That's more of like a bunt. Oh,
Yeah.
I love pound cake with like, that's the one time I will do berries. I will randomly one time a year crave strawberry shortcake and I will get like a pound cake, macerate my own strawberries.
You were
and do
doing
whipped
that.
cream.
Yeah, you were doing that on your own earlier this year.
I did it in like June, I think. I was like, I am craving because you go through random cravings of fresh strawberries.
I can go through a carton of strawberries in a snap.
So we had like
It
a
is
Costco case
crazy.
of strawberries and you were eating them. And I was like, wait a minute, that sounds delicious. And then I was like, wait, I kind of want whipped cream and pound cake too. So that's the one time I will eat fresh berries is with strawberry shortcake.
Well, it's funny 'cause
And, like usually like once a year.
Because I think the only way I ever eat pound cake is in a Twinkie.
Correct.
Like that's the only time I ever have that. Which it's funny because that's the thing of like I feel like once every 8 years I'm like, if I don't get a Twinkie, I'm going to die. Like
When they went out of business for like a second, it was the saddest time in the world.
They're a load-bearing food when you need them to be, and occasionally you're like, I must have a Twinkie. And so it is funny because like I don't. It's the rarity in which I need a Twinkie, but like it is a thing where all of a sudden it's just like it's like when I suddenly cut out regular soda from my diet, and I would literally at work I would stand up like just suddenly, and people would look at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "If I'm going to 7-Eleven, and if I don't get a peanut butter cup in the next 5 minutes, something bad's gonna happen."
Yeah.
Like just
you do have those
let me
intense
go.
cravings, but there's also like this foggy middle section that you have where like you have the intense craving when we're at Costco, so we buy it, and then when we get home, you're like, I don't want to ever have another Triscuit a day in my life.
I was just gonna say, I was like, I have zero plans
It's like,
for
why did we buy
Triscuits
10
ever
boxes of
again.
Triscuit?
Yeah, and seriously, like that Costco pallet of Triscuit will outlive all of us.
Yeah, we'll have that for decades.
Like seriously, is there a way we can turn that into kindling or something?
We need to talk to Ruby and see if we can switch from kibble to Triscuit.
Because seriously, yeah, like that was very much an eyes are bigger than the stomach present to future kind of thing. It was like, ooh, no.
Yeah, don't grocery shop when you're hungry, but for sure, do not go to Costco when you're hungry. Actually, go to Costco after a Cheesecake Factory meal where you've had an appetizer, a main course, and a slice of cheesecake.
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's be like, oh, we're out of milk.
I don't want milk ever again.
We don't want milk now. We don't need it ever again. Like, but there's none in the fridge. I don't
Get that
care.
milk out of this face.
Seriously, don't even show me food. We're buying tires and we're leaving.
Yeah.
Like something that we can't eat.
Well, that was a fun episode. I'm glad we finally got to talk about cake. And we didn't talk about butts. Baseball players. Baseball players have the best cake. There, we talked about all cakes.
I don't agree with the baseball statement, but also,
Excuse
like,
me?
I just don't think baseball players are very attractive. And I feel like their pants don't
I
do
didn't
them
say
any
anything
favors
about their
usually.
faces.
Yeah, I feel like they still don't have that good of butts. If you want to talk butts, it's rugby.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess.
you know,
but
like-
that's not mainstream. You can't see rugby on every TV during the summer.
But yeah, we got TikTok for a reason.
But yeah, that was our shopping and cake episode. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Cake and candy.
Oh my God, my favorite RuPaul song, the best song to walk down a runway to.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for listening, you guys. I hope you guys are happy that it's fall. I hope you're getting your decorations up and you're buying your cakes. Let me know what your favorite cake is. And if you want to send me a cake, I'll give you my address. But until next time.
I'm counting down the shows until you can miss me.
Yeah, one more. This is the second to last show with Rob for a while. So hope you ask all those questions in the comments of what you want to know about Rob. And next week's episode, we can just talk about Rob the whole time.
Maybe
I think
not.
that's why I lost my voice. I talked so much this episode. But we love you. Thanks for listening. And we'll talk to you on the next one. Okay. Bye.
Bye.